Hey everybody, Dom here. Notice something different about this Team Fortress 2 map? I've changed the color of the fog on the map as well as its thickness. This makes the map look pretty groovy. In this video I'm going to explain how to do this. Quick note, this works on most Source Engine games and requires cheats to be enabled. As a Source Engine game, Team Fortress 2 maps use input-output logic. Things like doors are controlled by simple logic. When a player walks into an invisible rectangular prism trigger near a door, the trigger tells the door to open. When they exit the trigger, it tells the door to close. That's a pretty simple example. What's interesting is that in the same way a trigger tells a door to open, the entity that controls fog on a map can also be told to do things. Map makers can set up logic to tell the fog to change its minimum and maximum distance, and change its primary and secondary colors. The developer console in Team Fortress 2 is a powerful thing. With the console, it's possible to tell things, like doors, to open as if they were being told by map logic. The endFire command is used to trigger things on maps. As a side note, it's a pretty useful debugging tool for map makers. The way the endFire command works, its syntax is like this. endFire, name of thing you want to trigger, what you want to trigger, additional attributes. The entity that controls fog on maps is called an env fog controller. They're usually not given names, so it's possible to trigger them by just specifying you want to trigger an env fog controller. Changing the thickness of fog is done by changing its starting distance, the distance where it's completely transparent near the player, and by changing its ending distance, the distance where it's completely opaque, really far away from the player. The syntax of the endFire command should look something like this. endFire, env fog controller, SetStartDist 0, and endFire, env fog controller, SetEndDist 3000. With these two commands, this map now has really thick fog, mostly due to the end distance being so low. One thing to note, the start distance can be a negative value, making the fog close to the player a little bit opaque. Changing the color of fog is done by changing its primary and secondary colors. Note, sometimes changing the primary alone is enough. The syntax of the endFire command should look something like this. endFire env fog controller, SetColor 02550, and endFire env fog controller, SetColorSecondary 02550. Note that the numbers can be any whole number between 0 and 255. Also, for some reason, negative numbers work too, but they're a bit glitchy, so just use positive numbers. Also note that the quotations around the numbers are necessary. With these two commands, this map now has a really green fog. Groovy. Actually, kinda looks kinda toxic-y. And that was the video. Impress your friends with your new ability to change the fog color on all your favorite maps. Thanks for watching, and remember, use the endFire command responsibly, as it's possible to crash the game. Au revoir. I wonder what would happen if I used an asterisk to select all, and use the word kill to kill every dynamic entity on this map. Oh my god, it worked. The fog is gone. The control point is gone. Yo, look at the spawn rooms. Oh yeah, the actual spawn points. The places where players spawn must be gone too. If I try to spawn in, I bet the game will either crash or spawn me in at the map's origin, the 000 point on the XYZ axis of the map. And it crashed.